Hello everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is the Q&A. It's Thursday, actually. Usually Q&As are on Wednesdays, but I had some stuff to do. Just didn't have time to fit this in. So we're here Thursday. How are you? I hope you're having a manageable week. I hope you're having, hey, why not a joyful week? We have to find joy where we can nowadays. I'm doing all right. I'm a little bit tired today. I didn't really sleep as well as I wanted to last night, but I'm here, ready to get through the day. Okay. I added a couple of extra questions. You guys asked some good questions. Nice variety. I only chose questions I felt drawn to. And also some of the questions I had answered already. So I try not to, unless it's something that, something that's expansive that I can read on again, knowing the energy can switch up, I'll answer again. What else? I think that is all I wanted to say. Everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only, for informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged, including the comments. In the comments, okay? If you want a personal reading from me, then please click more in the description of this video and you'll see the link. If you don't know what I'm talking about, email me at moonlightergy15@gmail.com and I will send you the link, okay? Let's get started. Question number 1 is from Bonnie R. Bonnie R. STF. S1F. Sorry about that. It says Trump is hosting a dinner for his top 250 investors and his crypto. I can't see. And his crypto meme coin. Oh, his fraud. Most from outside of our country. Of course. This has huge implications for national security, grifting, etc. Will this be the thing that finally takes him down? Let's see. Okay. All right. Will Trump's crypto coin party be the issue that takes him down? Saying no. No. And that's par for the course with him, right? They know he does these things. He's been investigated, and so far nothing has happened when it comes to this crypto nonsense and other things that he's done. He seems to just go by, smooth. But this won't be the thing. This won't be the thing. I knew it before I answered the question. Let's see. I'm gonna pull a true crime card. In this energy currently, what will be the thing, if you could tell me? crooked. It feels crooked. That looks a little better. Okay, celebrity came out. Being the spotlight or something. Can't shut his mouth. And regret. Perhaps the people regretting him. You know, a lot of people that support him. Not literal like celebrities. I don't think that's what the cards are saying, but because he is a quote unquote celebrity. So a lot of people, people like him. There may be some regrets there. Egotism is on the bottom. Egotism. His ego. Perversion is on the bottom. Family. Grandparent. Interesting. And burial. Something man-made disaster. These are the same cards that come out for him often. Oh, she told me to pull one more. What was that? Oh. Serial killer. Interesting. Family stuff always comes out in those cards for him. Man-made disaster often comes out. Burial often comes out. Secrets, perhaps. Some of y'all ask me, when is he leaving? When is this? I can't tell you. I don't know. But I'll talk about that more in another question. Okay. I'll talk about it more. When I say I don't know, I mean like literally don't know. I have a sense of what's happening. Okay, number 2. Lucas D9361. What is the energy that comes from my hands that makes my cat's ears twitch and my wife's hands cramp when I'm around them? What is in his hands? My guides are saying there's something related to stress. It's an energy that causes you stress that you have to harness. I often notice you, Lucas. You often, whenever I see you, your posts or your comments, you stick out. And it's because of your energy. I feel as though we're on the same wavelength. I do feel like you, there's something, you have very strong energy, and so my guides are saying you have to harness it in a way, because they keep saying it's causing you stress, and it's sort of like emitting into other people and like other beings. So you have to harness whatever that, you have very strong energy. I often say I carry my stress. That's where all my stress is, in my hands. That's why I always have to get hand massages, or I'll have the manual hand massages I'll have to use, or I'll get, outside of having carpal tunnel. But even before that, for years I always say I just feel like my hands carry the stress, like this energy that has to, I don't know why, quite honestly, but perhaps doing some chakra work, but it feels like stuck, or a buildup of your energy that causing you stress, and it sort of manifests through your hands. And if your wife is being affected by it, that's just your connection to her. The invisible line you two have being together, and the energy, your connection, so she's going to feel it. Okay? And as for your cat, the cats are spiritual animals. So they sense things. They sense everything. So perhaps he's sensing, or she, the cat is sensing your stress, but it is stress related. Okay, so figure out how to balance out that energy. It feels like you have very strong energy, and it feels like you run hot, my guides are saying. So you have to figure out how to harness that differently. Deal with the stress. It's like the energy builds up the stress. So perhaps do something with your chakras. It's like what I'm being shown is like the energy is twisted, and you have to untwist it. Okay? I hope that answers your question. All right. Next question, number 3. 𝐀𝐬𝐬𝐿, is something holding back the powers that be from removing Trump from office? Let's see. Hold on, I need some water. Sorry if you hear my gulping, I can't help it. I try to turn away. All right, is something holding, energy's moving already. Is something holding the powers that be from removing Trump from office? Is something holding the powers that be from removing Trump from office? It says maybe. It says maybe. I feel that because something's happening now where I feel a delay in the energy. And like I said, it's this month in particular, because I've been really thinking about this the past few days, the past week actually. So last week and this week I've been thinking about it, and I'm starting to understand there's something. And first of all, when I talk about the month ahead, when I was talking about May, Things are, there's this, I described it as calmness and stillness, but I think it's more so of a suspension, like I keep saying. And it feels like we're just sort of dangling, like the hangman comes into my mind often, this sort of pause or delay. But it also feels like because we are suspended, it is like building up this energy. And that's, for me, honestly, I don't like it. I understand that perhaps it has to happen, this sort of delay or suspension that I feel. And the reason why I don't like it is because for me it feels uncomfortable. I'm dealing with the discomfort. We all have to. But it's causing irritability. It's causing frustration. It's causing not a loss in faith or doubt. Those aren't the right words for what I'm feeling. But it's causing a mistrust, not in this process, of mistrust in our government fully, completely. Which is, but that's a whole other conversation. I don't want to get too off topic, but this is an uncomfortable feeling, and perhaps that's the lesson that I have to learn. But what is coming from this suspension, this sort of, because things were moving so fast last month that it felt like progression and movement. It was crazy, but it's still, now we're sitting, I feel as though we're sitting in this energy here. Nothing's moving forward or backwards. We're just in the worst part, sitting here, looking at everything, learning lessons and gaining new perspectives, it feels like. And that's always uncomfortable because we are now here, the universe, God, source is making us sit in this. All of us, even the ones who are happy about people's suffering, they're sitting in that too. And we're all in a different space, learning something. And I've the past few days has sort of been revelations or epiphanies for me, because I'm like, I see how my perspective has shifted, and I see what my lessons are and what they're becoming, not just about this crisis we're in, but just in my personal life and my journey and discovering my path. Slowly but surely. But anyway, there is a pause because I understand that we have to learn something here. There's nothing moving, it doesn't feel like, and it's uncomfortable because I could feel the energy of everything. And next month it feels as though we'll be shot, this energy that's being built up, things will start moving again at a, whiplash speed. And so I guess that is, this holding pattern we're in is what is causing, helping us learn these lessons. And I feel like this won't be the only time this happens, but the spirit world is very active. And if you've been having trouble sleeping or very vivid, intense dreams, some nightmares, some anxiety, that you don't quite know why it's happening, because there's nothing outside of this, what's happening here. It's, things might be pretty calm. So that's why. I could feel it. I could feel the lessons. Even when I channeled this past Monday, the Malcolm X and Sojourner Truth felt very different. Their energy felt like they understand what's happening. And this empowering sort of, not necessary anger, but this power of, okay, now it's time to, this is the moment. So I understand. I see that. I understand. I get it. On a higher level, on the physical level, it's difficult to deal with, because sometimes it's just like, he has to go. This has to stop. It's worse than the first time. It is worse than the first time, because he's so demented. And he's out for punishment. He's not doing, the first time he just was, he didn't really want to be president the first time either, but he was there, he was in it, and he wanted to just sort of get the benefits that come with whatever benefits there were. But this time, he's out for total destruction. He hates this country. He knows he can't rule it. He thinks he can. He's going to do whatever he wants, so. But all that aside, spiritually, he's sort of digging himself. But when I say I have not lost faith in the people. I have more faith. I know that it will be the people. That's what the main revelation. Well, it was not really. I've always known that, but that's what I'm understanding. Okay, that was a long answer, but I really like that question. Anyway, number. Okay. Number 4. Taurus 1647. Are some of the Dems working against their own party due to misogyny? Excellent question. Let's see what the energy says. Are some of the Democrats working against their own party due to misogyny? They're saying no. Okay, clear the center. Are some of the Democrats working against their party due to internalized misogyny? Due to internalized misogyny. Saying yes. Y'all know the difference, right? In their subconscious awareness, they may not be consciously aware of it, or they may not even have to think about it. I heard my guide say the word tradition as I was speaking, asking the question. And that's why I rephrased it the second time. There's something there with that. Of course, with the Republican Party, that, even the women, that's what they were brainwashed to, trained to, people, So yeah, the answer is yes. Probably the older ones, if I could hazard a guess. And like I said, some of them don't want change. They don't want the change. They like the back and forth. And it doesn't, it's both, I hold space. I've always held space for both. I will keep my foot on the Republicans' neck and hold the Democrats accountable for what they do and don't do. They are better at governing. They do want to have a government. They do want to govern. And there are those on both sides who have their own agenda, who like tradition, quote unquote, don't like progression. I think for some of them, like I was seeing on the Democratic side, is that they don't want change because it sort of takes away their need to fight or their identity. So they like the back and forth and the, I don't know, the show, I guess. They're so used to this dog and pony. Some of them, a lot of them. Well, not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. Some of them. The seasoned, some of the seasoned. I get their usage. They're used to this system, and we have to work within a system that we have, but it will change. Something will force the system to change, and something, I think, you can only do so many rallies and town halls and speeches and write letters and have petitions. I think the people will be fed up, pushed to a limit, and you will have to change. It's the pattern of history. You will have to change somewhere down the line and let this identity go. Step aside. Even older progressives, time for y'all. Anyway, that's a whole other. There's a real big issue here, but we're in the middle of it. That's the main problem, is that it's our lives that they do this thing with back and forth. It just doesn't make sense anymore. So that's why we're here, because I think the system has to be stretched so far, and it's stretched so far to the point of no return, and to the point of it not even looking like the system we have any longer, until a change, till someone does something and says, hey, this is crazy, which will be, I think, us, quite frankly. I see a lot of people disengaged and angry, and they don't want to vote. I hope we don't have I live in New Jersey. I hope we don't end up with a Republican governor, but I don't know. I don't know. All right. Number 5, Nick 4800. Did our souls choose to come to Earth at this time? Did our souls come to choose to come to Earth? Man. My God just said, our souls don't choose, they have their own path. Like it's written for them. Their own channel, they're saying. Like they just know where to go. It's not always Earth. We're such a small rock. The grand scheme of things. I hope that answered your question. Number 6. Rhonda R. 8443. Can you tell if a deceased person you are channeling has also currently reincarnated into another lifetime? Or is the past personality unavailable if they have reincarnated into another body? Okay. I had to sit and think about this. And first thing I said to myself was, it's like pieces, right? So this is very, I'm simplifying this because this is something that I believe we can try to understand, but we really don't. But I'm gonna, from what I think is, you have energy, right? We're all made of energy. Our souls, the most powerful energy. Okay. And so, if a person passes and their spirit or their soul, let's say, there's this energy, right? And so it goes to where it goes. And I'm talking to someone who has passed. I'm talking to that person. They're, when you think of past lives, when I think of my past lives, they still exist, those other people. So it's almost like if someone's reincarnated, that piece, you imagine a soul, how the kind of energy that soul is like, I could imagine it's a part, let's say like a special, I don't know, a special atom or a blood vessel or a cell. Let's say a cell. And it has many other cells inside of it. And I think a soul can encompass, is just not that one person. I think it can encompass many people, many beings, many life, forces. And so if a person passes and they're reincarnated, their past person still exists. It doesn't just, the soul isn't just recycled, I don't think. I think a soul is a type of energy or a cell that can get bigger and bigger and bigger with each, reincarnation. So that piece that has passed, that one person that has had that soul, because a soul is never ending. The person who's been a part of that soul, they're still there. Their personality, their traits, who they were, their lives, what they know, they're still in existence. Like they share the same energy, but they're still able to exist, even though that soul is going. Their spirit still exists. And the piece of the soul, I think, even if it's reincarnated into something or someone else. So when I channel a person who has passed, I still feel who they were, or who they are rather. I speak of them as, I never speak of them as if they no longer exist, in the physical world. They're just in a different, they exist still in a different, what's the word? Sorry, I'm tired, guys, so words are usually always hard for me. Let's just say they exist in a different setting, but they still are who they are. Okay? I hope that answered your question. All right, number 7. Chantel A. 7613. When you channel a deceased person, are they in heaven or another dimension, or hell in some cases? I don't think I've ever did I believe hell exists? Yes. But who's down there? I don't know. But I don't know though. But yeah, because I have heard some things and I've experienced some things. Not like I've seen hell, but I don't know. But anyway. But the way, anyway, do they, when I channel someone who has passed, I am typically, sometimes I'll ask, when I do personal readings, I'll ask, can you show me where you are? They don't specifically say I'm in heaven. Some of them say, oh, it's paradise. Some of them show me buildings. Some of them show me mountains, the beach. I can tell when they are having a difficult time adjusting to being on the other side. The person, when I channeled when I did the video on the city of Atlantis and the person I channeled, it felt as though she was in another dimension. Would you call heaven another dimension? That's something that would need to be explored. But I say heaven, yeah, sure. Yeah. They are, there are those who have ascended very high up, and it feels high up. It doesn't feel low to the ground. I've never talked to, I don't think I've spoken or channeled a person who's passed that has felt demonic or, no. No. That is something that I'm not afraid of. I'm not afraid of necessarily, but it's not for me, it's not something that I aspire to do, or not at all. Okay, I hope that answered your question. Number 9. RLG will, okay, RLG. That's your name. RLG. Will AOC, Jasmine Crocket, and other Democrats be arrested by the GOP for being vocal and exposing their lies? Good question. Will the Democrats and progressives be arrested for speaking out? Would they be arrested for speaking out? It's not moving. Hold on. I think my question was not clear enough. Can you show me a yes, please? Okay, clear to center. Can you show me a no? Okay. Clear to center, please. Can you show me a maybe? Okay, clear to center. Can you show me a rephrase? Okay, clear to center. Will Democrats like AOC and Jasmine Crocket be arrested for speaking against the Trump administration? saying no, but there's something there. There's something there. There's something they would try to do as punishment. He would have to see them as threats. I don't think he does yet. But there's something there. It says no, but it's not out of the realm of possibility, quite honestly. Is what I feel in energy. Rob H7065. Were the actual 2024 vote counts before being electronically manipulated for President, Senate, and House captured by NSA? And House captured by NSA. And are they accessible to Kamala? Will the public know those figures? That's the big thing. If anything, how I would love for this to happen, for this to end, for him to be shafted, is through this. None of the corrupt things he does and treason. I want this to be the reason he is gone. I want his cheating to be exposed, because it would show how things need to change. It will show how they don't protect our elections like they claim they do, the entire government. And it will show that nobody wants him, except for the few people who do. So this is how I would want it to end. Will the 2024 election cheating scandal be captured by the NSA? Will it be captured? It's a small yes. It's barely moving. It's moving a little harder now. Okay. Saying yes. I'm gonna pull some cards after this. Let's see. You guys see that? I had it a little far back. I don't know why I did that. Will Kamala be made aware of these results? Will Kamala be made aware of these results? Saying yes. NSA. Glider Center. I remember a long time ago someone mentioned the NSA when I channeled them. Will the public be made aware of this? Will the public be made aware of this? Well, I'm saying no. Glider Center. Will the public be made aware of the 2024 election fraud? Will they be made aware of the 2024 election fraud? I could feel the energy push my hand. That was weird. When that happens. Saying yes. I kind of feel like, I kind of honestly feel like Kamala is doing something so quiet I'm gonna ask cards real quick. See what they could show me. 𝐀𝐬𝐭𝐢𝐨 2024. I did this reading before and they said yes. I did a reading on this a little bit ago. But not this question in particular. It was about something related to this, but not this direct of a question. My stomach's crawling. Oh, it's too many. Justice. Six of Swords. Card of healing and transition from calm to chaos. Or from chaos to calm, rather. Three of Swords. Tower. Shocking upheaval. Great upheaval. Shock. This is about fraud being exposed. Seven of Pentacles. Rebuilding. Preparing for the future. Five of Wands. Exposure. Conflict. The world coming full circle. I mean, news coming out seems pretty clear to me. Justice. Justice is about integrity, fairness, balance. Justice came out in the reading, the prediction I did for the election in September. And I saw, courts might be involved in some way, but it's about bringing back balance. Okay, and integrity and the truth. Six of Swords is about transition, healing from chaos to calm. Three of Swords is disappointment. The Tower is a shocking something just, being exposed as shocking, or something, some sort of deconstruction or things falling apart. Seven of Pentacles is about something you want to rebuild or something you're trying to build for the future. Five of Wands, I believe, is a card of exposure. Five of Wands is also, conflict. Being exposed for things that you're not supposed to be doing. Okay? And the world is things coming full circle. News coming out. News being shared. Good news, hopefully. So yeah, I want this to be the reason. Nothing else, quite honestly. Everything he does is, this will be the shocking thing. But will it? I think people will be like, I think maybe the shock will come more from, not that he did it, but more from the exposure of it. That this, oh my God, is really it's happening, sort of thing. And it will cause it's very serious, this kind of thing. And embarrassing for America that you can't protect your elections. Come on. So that's how I hope. I hope it will expose the big glaring holes in this, process that Kamala tried to expose. But no one listens to any woman, especially black women. All right. Observations 11. Has there ever been a situation where your guides have given you information and requested that you not share it, either at all or a later date? What kind of boundaries, if any, do they set? Yeah, there have been. I know when to share and when not to share. I know what to share and what not to share. And it's not that they tell me that I can't share something. I mean, they do, but not like that. In a sense of like, I'll ask them. I'll feel it. Is there something I could say? And the answer will be yes or no. And I'll feel in the energy when it's time for me to share something. I'll just know, intuitively. Like, I feel like if I'm giving some information or some sort of download, I'll be like, I know this is not right to say right now. I'll just know. And I'll ask for confirmation, and they'll say yes, or they'll say, yeah, you could say it. And then at a later date, if it comes up again, I'll feel it in the energy that I can say something. Okay? So in terms of boundaries, what kind of boundaries is... they don't really... It's not about boundaries with that. I have my own boundaries of things that, there are certain things I just won't say because, I don't know, I'm like, some things are too private. I know a lot of you want me to channel Joe Biden and check in on his energy. However, I don't feel comfortable doing that right now. I'd rather do those kind of things to let them settle. I don't know if I would. So that's a boundary for me. Plus I'm still processing. There's just some things that, not that I won't touch or talk about, but there's certain things that I'm just like, just let it be for now. Let it, Okay. Number 12. Lily. Okay. Lily S 8,000 words. 8001. Numbers. What time is it? Okay, I have time. I've seen a couple of flashes of an Indigenous American and Canadian. I think he may be my spirit guide. I've been trying, but I'm struggling to make any connection. You're asking for advice on how to do that. Okay. You can meditation is a really, really good way to connect to your spirit guide. Also, reflect on other moments what do you feel drawn to in terms of this guide, this thing you keep seeing? Do you feel drawn to the culture? Have you noticed maybe an obsession or dreams? Have you noticed feeling drawn to certain documentaries, or what kind of emotions come up when you think of the culture? That's a good start. And meditating, even asking your spirit guide to, if it is your spirit guide, asking, have you connected to other spirit guides, first of all? Second of all, asking to connect. What I used to do a lot in the beginning is spiritual writing. I would just take a pen and a notebook, and I would just meditate and just start writing. Ask for signs, ask them to visit your dreams. If you have connected to other spirit guides, or just a spirit guide in general, you could ask for help, and you could ask for a specific sign. You might get it. It's really, honestly, you are connected to your spirit guides. It's being consciously aware of them, and it's really about how you treat yourself. It's really about being in alignment with your higher self. And in my opinion, it starts with self-care. Being gentle with yourself, maybe sometimes even confronting certain anxieties or fears or worries, or, the static. But it's really about how you take care of yourself emotionally, physically, psychologically. It doesn't have to be perfect. They don't all need to be in perfect alignment and in perfect balance. That's what your guides also help you with. It will never be perfect, but being gentle with yourself. Buying a deck of oracle cards that you feel drawn to. There's a really good deck, actually. Let me just grab it real quick. These are the first two. These are my earlier decks that I use. Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. Really good deck. Goddesses, Gods, and Guardians. Really good deck. Okay. Look up some oracle cards and see what you feel drawn to. That's a really good way to also connect. Okay. All right. Number 13. Sadia N1P. Were you born with the ability to channel? Is it frightening to speak with spirits at first? Is it physically draining? Any suggestions on connecting with spirit will be appreciated. I hope you just watched the question beforehand. But was I born with the ability? Yes, I believe I was. I did not know that I could do this. Didn't know I could do this until not too long ago, actually. Is it physically draining? It's more physically draining to channel someone's higher person, someone who's still alive, than a person who has passed. I really quite enjoy talking to people who have passed. Funnily enough, I don't talk to my family members who have passed. They do visit me. They come in mostly into my dreams. But I don't like seek them out. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, but they come either way to send me some messages, usually not good ones, but for the most part. Anyway, but it's not physically draining. Only when I do, when I channel someone's energy who is still of this world, fit in the physical world. It's not frightening. It was never frightening. I have felt, I feel like that's another topic. I have felt energy that when I have channeled, never a person who has passed, but someone, people who are alive, their energy that is just not good, a relative term, but doesn't feel that I just don't like being, in their energy. That's draining. Who's a good example? Clarence Thomas. His energy is like sludge. It is gross. Not great. And that other guy, what is his name? JD Vance's, I was about to say something, quote unquote friend. His energy he is not good. He's a creep. He's dark, okay? So that sort of thing. But if you, are you asking how to connect with spirit, or are you asking how to channel? I would say, I honestly would say, take baby steps. You have to, I'm speaking from my experience, okay? I was channeling and doing remote viewing, and it just sort of, I didn't wake up one day and was just like, I could channel, I could talk to people who have passed. I just knew. My guides said, you have to expand because you have gifts. And I was presented an opportunity. I was presented an opportunity, and it was just like, oh, I could do this. And I get affirmation or confirmation every day because I do personal readings, and I say things, I hear things, I connect with people who have passed, and when I share the messages with those who have asked me to connect to their loved one, it's crazy because things that I wouldn't know, things I wouldn't know because I don't know this person, is confirmed. So I think if you know you have this ability, the first clue is your interest in it. When you feel drawn to those things, you have to explore them. And it really starts with you. I went through this big thing. I had a near-death experience. I went through all this that landed me here, everyone's experience is different, but there has, maybe there's an experience in your life that was pretty significant, and so maybe explore that, and ask, perhaps reflect on why you feel so drawn to this. Are you open to it? Are you feeling integrated? Start there. I hope I wasn't just rambling. Kind of felt like I was. All right. Number 14. Pandora's Art Box. In my growth, I've been told to let go of my logical thinking, that I rely on too much, but as an analytical person, this is a natural occurrence. I know that it also feeds my fears and worries, which I need to release to continue my growth. What are some ways to stop analyzing and just be? I'm meditating and praying, and it seems to be helping me connect. I just am looking for other practices to assist me and thought I'd ask. So it sounds like it's not that you're analytical, it's that you overthink. One, you have to accept, if you haven't, that you are someone who wants to change the fact that you overthink, or you're someone who overthinks. Acceptance is like the first. And some people will argue that, well, I have accepted. Well, you know that you are someone who overthinks. Have you accepted that fully, completely? Because once you can move into accepting those things about you, it sort of removes the judgment, and it makes it easier for you to move beyond that. So you sort of like, when you do have anxiety and worry, this is more clinical stuff, but when you do have anxiety and worry, you move into a space of non-judgment, and you sort of just observe why you feel this way. You don't even have to ask why. You could move into, you can, and you can move into, how do I reduce this feeling? If meditating and praying is helping you, do more of it. You want to do what works. Sometimes you want to, if you haven't, like, seeking guidance, exploring like your inner self more through oracle cards that are geared towards that. Really, it's really about learning more about how this manifests, this overthinking, how it manifests in your life, so you could start to undo it. Because it's, honestly, I could tell you, it is not just sitting on your, it's tricky. It comes up in ways you may not even think of. Even in your spiritual journey, it may come up. So it's becoming very mindful and taking steps. So if you have been meditating and praying, maybe move into, if you haven't, journaling, getting some oracle cards that are geared toward self-discovery, that may be geared toward, there's one really good one I used to use. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. Soul's Journey lesson cards. Okay. This is a really good deck that I started. These are one of the first cards that I bought. And it really helps. It helps you focus in on what you need to focus on. Okay. It's a really good guide. So get this deck. All right. Okay. Number 15, 𝐀𝐧𝐬𝐰𝐞𝐫𝐬 82. I know you did some scrying mirror stuff, but I still keep thinking about your image of fires and Trump and wonder if you could revisit that and any further information surrounding these earlier images you were shown. I could revisit that. I don't see fire anymore when I scry in the mirror about Donald Trump. I think that was metaphorical, perhaps. Perhaps to like everything he's doing now currently. When I scry, I don't see fire at all. His energy feels very weak. Will Donald... The energy is moving already. Will Donald Trump be involved in more man-made disasters? Will he and his administration be involved in more man-made disasters? Saying yes. His more, I think his really more was metaphorical. But I'll revisit it, most definitely. Probably tomorrow, actually. I'll revisit that. That was it, guys. Tomorrow tomorrow will be a video moving forward, and I'll be doing channel messages. But there's someone asked me, I thought I had it, maybe I skipped over it, about the tariffs. That I'll address it tomorrow, and if it will affect the working class. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope you got something out of this. I hope I answered your questions. I hope I wasn't just talking, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, please like this video. Please comment, subscribe, share if you'd like. I greatly appreciate it. I'm grateful for you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.